Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Ford from a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. And it literally is a program for shortcuts for your soul where you can get information, knowledge, and wisdom channeled by my guides, angels, ascended masters, and other multidimensional beings that can give you the opportunity to end your needless suffering. To end your needless suffering. Today I have with me the energy of the Divine Collective, and they wanted to talk about the Great Awakening that is currently underway. Hello, everybody. I'm also trying a new configuration for the cameras for TikTok and YouTube so that I can take questions easily and effectively from both of these sessions. Excuse the reflections. It'll take a couple of days to fine tune this, but I'm so grateful that you are here with me today, and I'm really excited about what we're going to begin to experience. So what is the Great Awakening? You know, you've heard this term, the Great Reset, but there's also this other thing going on called the Great Awakening. And the Great Awakening is where human consciousness shifts itself from the paradigm of instinct and fear to the paradigm of love and creation. I want to repeat those two because it's very important that we recognize we're moving in consciousness from instinct and fear to love and creation. That is, to be able to create consciously and intelligently with our alignment to spirit and consciousness and intelligence. Good morning, Mariori. Wonderful. Hi, Julia. Hi, guys. Remember, if you like the content you hear today, please remember to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, click the notification bell, follow, whatever it is you can do to get this information out. The fundamental truth that you need to know about what you are and who you are and what you're being is that at your core, not what your mind has been filled with, you are love. This is the fundamental truth that needs to be remembered by every human being. Not who you think you are, but what you are as a spiritual entity, a manifestation of divine consciousness. You are a function of love. The contents of your mind are often in conflict with who you really are. Your mind is often in conflict with who you really are. And being able to become familiar with that understanding allows you to differentiate yourself from the contents of your mind to get more connected to the nature and conditions of your soul, which are love-based, not fear-based. Your mind is an interface between the physical world and the non-physical world. That is what your mind is. It is an interface between the physical world and the non-physical world. Many of you believe that the contents of your mind is who you are, and this is why you have so much confusion, because you believe that the contents of your mind is who you are. And most of the contents in your mind is, well, let us say, just messed up a little bit, because you've been given information that does not actually go very well with the conditions favorable to living a life of wealth and joy and prosperity. No, you've been taught beliefs and ideas that limit you and restrict you to suffering. Many of you, not all of you, but a good deal of you are stuck in suffering and struggling unnecessarily. What we wanted to communicate most importantly, there's this greatest awakening underway right now, that you are awakening. Your consciousness is awakening. You feel this urge that there's something more that you are supposed to be and do in this world. And that urging, that prompting is not coming from your mind. It is not coming from your body. It is coming from your soul. Your soul came here to express creatively, consciously, intelligently, lovingly. The mind and the body are strictly based on themselves in the function of survival. That is, the mechanisms of fight and flight or pleasure and pain. That is what your body self and your mind are designed by nature to exist in, that paradigm of fight or flight and survival. You, on the other hand, are a being of creation. You have the ability within your will and in your consciousness to assert an authority over your mind and your body. A loving authority over your mind and body, not to become subjective to your mind and body, but to become a loving authority over your mind and body, so that you can function creatively from the energy of love, which is a function of creation and life. Whereas the function of instinct is that of survival. You have to fight for what you want. You have to take it from other creatures or beings in order to exist. But the function of creation through the expressions of love will allow you to enhance, improve the quality and nature of your life and align yourself correctly to your purpose. In the natural function of your expression of love, in the natural expression of your function of love, your actions enhance and improve the quality not only of your own life, your own mind, and your own body, but also the quality, the lives, the minds, and hearts of other beings, other creatures upon this beautiful planet of yours. And so you find yourself wanting to end your confusion, but some of you are unwilling to take the time to step out of your mind long enough to get familiar with who you are again. And what do we mean by step outside of your mind? We mean that you are able to move your awareness away from the confines of the information in your mind, that is the structure of the personality that you've acquired in this physical dimension through this lifetime and many others, to be able to differentiate yourself from your mind so you can begin to re-experience your nature as a spiritual being here to learn the function and practice of creation in a physical dimension. You did not come here strictly to enjoy the pleasure of physical matter. You came here to learn the function of creation and the joy of its effects, much the same way as you can delight in the birth of a child or the hatching of a chick from an egg, and you can delight in that, or watch the blossoming of a flower or the propagation of your vegetables in your gardens. As much as you can delight in that function of creation, you also have a function of creation that is unique and distinct to each and every one of you, both individually and collectively. And what that creation might be is a function of love. And a function of love is that which enhances, improves the quality of your life and the lives of others. When you are willing to surrender your suffering, that is, you're willing to give it up, because you know you can give up your suffering, it is well within the purview of your consciousness creatively to surrender suffering, to surrender anger, to surrender fear, to surrender guilt, to surrender shame, to surrender wrong action, to surrender those things that cause harm to other beings. Or you may elect to continue holding on to those things, and again, repeating the same errors that many civilizations upon this planet have perpetuated throughout many millions of years of existence upon this little globe. It is important you understand from the muck and the fossilized remains of old civilizations, each and every one of you knows in your heart that you have been here before and you've done this before, and you've had many opportunities to get it right, to learn your function of love, to collectively unite in the function of love. Not just a few individuals, such as your great ascended masters and your great teachers, your great saviors. They were individuals who had aspired and attained that function of love unquestioningly. And they sought to instill that function of love through their teachings upon you. Many of you which did not understand or comprehend the true nature of those teachings, and another portion of you who found those teachings to your advantage to manipulate and control and manipulate the populations for your benefit. But you have simply repeated the same story again and again and again, as that is all your ego can do, is repeat the same story again and again and again. Whereas the function of love in all of its ways is inclusive of all aspects of creation, in that what it thinks and says and does has an understanding and awareness of the broader implications and ramifications of any thought, feeling, or action being performed by it. In other words, love knows exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and when and how to do it without so much thinking, so much weighing, and so much measuring. The function of love is very precise, whereas the function of fear, which is a function of your survival, is limited to the structure of the sensory being, that is your physical body, and the content of your mind. Now, your soul has access to the contents of your mind as equally as does your body. But each one will utilize that information in a very different way. If you're living strictly from survival, then your function will be based in fear, pleasure, and pain. That is what your existence will be perceived at. Every day, you will vacillate between good and bad, right and wrong, pleasure, pain, guilt, and joy. You will vacillate back and forth. And yet, as you move your attention away from the idea of suffering to the consideration of what is the functions of love, what is the function of love through you as a thought? What is the function of love through you as a word? What is the function of love through you as an action, as a teaching, as an expression? Consider this. What is the functions of love on these levels of consciousness, on the level of body, on the level of mind, on the level of awareness? What are your functions of love? If you begin to question, if you have a fearful thought, that is not a function of love. If you have doubt, that is not a function of love. The function of love is very precise and specific in terms of how it operates and the effects that it causes, as equally as the effects and causes of fear are unique to it as well. Your biological entity has a very limited range in how it can function and is wholly dependent upon you in the human kingdom. In the animal kingdom, they are, let us say, given enough information to thrive and survive at the level in which they exist, with a relative harmony with all other things. Even the lion that eats the gazelle operates within an economy, as does the gazelle that chooses to get eaten. There is an economy. But in the human realm, you have this function of free will. You have this function of free will that allows you to choose to be like an animal or to be divine, to be of fear or to be of love. You have that choice. The animal is within the confines of its arena of consciousness, whereas you have stepped outside the arena of the consciousness of the animal, and you have dominion and authority over your flesh, and you have dominion and authority over your thinking mind, or you ought to at least have that. It is well within the confines of all of your consciousnesses that you can have absolute authority over your thinking mind, and therefore the nature and quality of the emotions that would be generated by such thinking. And the thinking of love and the thinking of fear are very different. Survival from the body is often not a function of love other than to preserve the well-being of the physical organism that it could exist and live. But as you know, there were times in your histories, and we say your histories because there have been many histories of this planet. And we say that because of your histories, you have learned to believe that you have some subjectivity to body and mind that has gone too far. You are not subjective to your body anymore. You must remember your body is an instrument through which you express. The place and function of love as a manifestation of your consciousness is mindfully different than the functions of fear of your body. And the life extension, The life that you can live, the length of your life that you can live when your consciousness is aligned to its expressions of your love, which is your divinity, then life extension becomes a natural phenomena of that love, as equally as death, as you call it, where your body ceases to function, is a manifestation of living in fear or in the level of instinct, believing you are simply just a body and a mind and bound by its rules and experiences. And therefore your lifespans are restricted by the nature and quality of your instinctual nature, which is a function of fight and flight or pleasure and pain, versus the functions of love, which are based in creation, the extension of, the preservation of, the manifestation of life in all of its expressions and experiences. It is important that you note this distinction between love and fear, for in order for anything you hear coming through this one in these moments, these activities, you must understand the distinction within yourself of what is love and what is fear. And to understand that distinction, you must know what it is you are and what it is you are not. Do not confuse the car with the driver. The vehicle that you have is a vehicle you have. It is not who you are. It does not determine essentially what you should do or not do when you have the authority to direct it otherwise. That is, for example, the desire to procreate is a desire that is based in the function of your biology. But in your consciousness as a soul, as a function of love, you can determine if the function of biology is more important than the function of survival. The function of love is more important than the function of survival. You can determine what actions are of love and what actions are of fear, what is of survival, what is of creation. And those are the simple choices. Do you wish to continue surviving as you have for many millions of years, repeating the same stories over and over and over again with different languages and different manifestations and different concoctions of technology? Or are you ready to transcend through this process of awakening? Are you ready to transcend through the process of awakening? That it is not the function of biology that determines the nature and quality of your life, but the consciousness that you are, the function of love, the being that is you, that determines the nature and quality of your creative process. And we can assure you that there are many planetary systems in what you call your universe and your galaxy that are well articulated in the functions and expressions of creation and have long since transcended the functions of instinct as a mechanism of living. And you will turn to your technologies as you are doing so now, hoping to place the responsibility of your own liberation upon your technology. You would create something to liberate yourself from yourself, but it will not work. It has been tried before, it was done before, and it has failed before. You must awaken to the fact of your existence as a creating intelligence. You are a function of love and can create from your function of love instead of your function of survival. And if enough of you awaken, a whole new earth is about to emerge. The process is well underway. Like the dandelion or the rose that comes to the bush to flower, to come to that place of flowering, like that. You are like that, humanity. You are like that now. You're at the place where you may flower, or you may die on the branch again. And love is the flower of creation, and survival is its demise. If you seek only to survive, then that is all you will do. If you seek to create from a function of love, then you will thrive. The functions of time, space, and matter are wholly dependent in your experience based on the nature and quality of your consciousness. The function of survival is very specific in terms of how it will cause you to experience this world. And the functions of love are very specific in how they would cause you to experience this world and observe the manifestations unfolding around you as a result of the function of love or fear. It becomes very simple if you begin to awaken sufficiently enough to know that your function is no longer of fear but of love. And you have scratched your heads many times, and now your sciences are beginning to realize that these so-called dinosaurs and humans actually lived together at a period of time. There was actually a great harmony on this planet on many occasions, very short-lived, however, because, again, the function of survival transcended the function of love. And you have an opportunity now to surrender. You have the opportunity to surrender your function of fear and supplant it with your function of love. And it is easy from the position of being observant. That is, to be observant of your mind, observant of your body, for they do have their own nature. Your body has its own nature that many of you have become subjective to. This whole proclivity to errant and unrestrained sexual activity is a clear indication of where you have lost your authority to your biology. You've surrendered to instinct, not to creation. The functions of love is very different than the functions of fear. And so you find yourself on this precipice between falling asleep again or awakening. And the great awakening is here and now in your abilities to discern what is a thought of love, what is an act of love, what is a thought of love, what is an act of love, what is a thought of survival, what is an act of survival. To make those distinctions will allow you to make clearer choices about what your awakening will be like, or whether you will simply fall back into the deep sleep of your physical natures, simply relegating yourself to becoming again wild animals for a period until you again climb up out of the muck of your own ignorance to awaken once again to the possibilities that you have right now. If all that you do is based in the belief that you must survive rather than thrive and grow, then you will continue to repeat the same pattern again and again. When you come to the conclusion that there is a function of love in terms of your thinking and your actions, and you truly understand how to evaluate the difference between love and fear, you beautiful human species will have such a wonderful opportunity to experience life in a way that is very unique and precious in all of creation, through all timelines, through all universes, through all points of manifestation. The function of love as a living embodiment, a few of you on this earth have achieved. The one you know of as Jesus Christ, the one you know of as Master Buddha. And there are many other examples of individuals in this world that have achieved that level of functionality. They say they become one with life, the Father, the Mother, whatever you would call it. But they become one with it. And they embodied it, and they shared it, and they taught it. And in your fear, you have often rejected their truth. That there is a function of love and a function of fear. Each has its own creative result in your experience of existence. And your existence can only be based in one or the other. You cannot serve these two masters. You may serve only one or the other, and each will bear fruit according to itself. The functions of love are very precise in the conditions that you will find yourself existing in, as equally as the functions of fear will do the same. And if you stop and pause and ask yourself, is this thought of fear? Are these words of love? if you stop to evaluate what that action is it of love or is it of fear? If you can begin to evaluate and then make a choice between the function of love or fear and choose love over fear, not only will your own individual lives improve, but your collective consciousness as a species will elevate itself rapidly. And this is the great awakening. To choose the function of love and not the function of fear. To choose so consciously, deliberately, in every word, in every gesture that you perform. Is it of love or is it of fear? Even in your own mind, you can evaluate, are these thoughts in my mind of love or are these thoughts in my mind of fear? And choose to say, I will reject fear and I will choose love. You have the authority to reject thought from your mind. And you have the authority to choose new thoughts for your mind. You have the authority to look in the mirror and say that is beautiful. And you have the authority to look in the mirror and say, I don't like that. Each will bear its own fruit and effects in the experience of your life. And your life as it is in this moment is an exact representation of the choices you have made of love or fear. And if you are suffering, then the choices that you have mostly made are based in fear. And even if somebody has perpetuated harm upon you, after that harm, what you choose to think can be of love or fear. You may choose to dwell upon the suffering that was and perpetuate your suffering even long after the time you were harmed unnecessarily. And we see so many do that. It is not just this planet. There are other planets that struggle as you do, but you at the moment are the slowest in the class, so to speak. You've been trying this for many millions of years. You are a very slow species in terms of recognizing the simple distinction between the functions of love and fear. And even though you've had some of the greatest teachers in this galaxy come and manifest themselves here to teach you, you have still been quite slow in really understanding and embodying the truth of love. But the energies are quite favorable on this planet. Energetically, there's enough energy coming into this planet to afford each and every one of you the opportunity to elevate yourselves out of survival and into creation. And those that are building these great underground complexes in the hopes that they can survive the effects of their own causing, woe to them. You can dig as deep as you can dig. You can build as sophisticated as your knowledge will allow you. But if all of your choices and actions are based in fear and survival, which is fear, the result will be inevitable. If the choices and actions of your functions are based in love, the result will be inevitable. It is that simple. It does not matter how much you take from others in order to preserve your own life. If your functions are of fear and survival, the result is inevitable. You will experience more fear and more survival, and you perpetuate that. As equally as you can perpetuate love and its functions. And your environment and your solar system are reactionary to your dominant energetic connection. If you're more dominantly connected to love, then the solar system, your galaxy, responds to that as equally as it will to the functions of fear. So you wish to get away to another planet so that you will survive. You do not wish, humanity is under threat. Well, that is not based in love. That is based in fear. Are there measurable things that are occurring that your science is saying, wow, there's an event happening with your sun right now? But that science does not tell you that the effects of your own creation, your own thinking, your own emotions generate effects that cause and alter perception, alter and change time, space, and matter. Is that not interesting? That your energy, whether it is from fear or love, creates very specific results in the conditions of your world. And we came simply to remind you of this simple truth that you might choose to, at the very least, ameliorate your unnecessary suffering. And for those of you that are bold enough to deeply understand what was said today, then to become mindful of what you will allow your mind to think, what you will choose as thoughts, what you will choose as words, what you will choose as actions, that they may be of love and not of fear. That they can be of love and not of fear. And in that you will find the way and the truth and the light. The way of fear is darkness. The way of love is light. It is very simple. And we speak to you in the conceptions that you can best understand. In speaking through this one, we utilize the information and knowledge contained within his system in order to articulate the message in a language that you can understand. You cannot comprehend what you cannot comprehend any more than your sciences can see what they cannot see, or hear what they cannot hear, or know what they cannot know. The things that you are discovering now have always existed, and they're great discoveries not yet even gleaned by this civilization that many others had already achieved. But in any moment you turn away from fear towards love, you will begin to find great relief. You'll understand that the functions of existence that you call life and death are not what you deem them to be, that this illusionary thing called death is simply a movement of energy from a physical plane of experiential consciousness relative to your species to a non-physical plane of awareness and consciousness that your science has not quite yet bridged. Technologically speaking, they do not know how to hear or perceive information and knowledge on a non-physical plane of consciousness. That is, telepathically is one example. But choose carefully what thoughts, what words, what actions you do. And are they of love? If you choose this, your suffering shall end very soon. For all of you, the functions of fear are very precise and specific, and your role and your authority over your mind is absolute when you recognize it. Your authority and role over your mind is absolute when you recognize that that truth exists. Well, thank you. Wow. There's lots of questions here today, guys. I'm going to try and get to as many as we can in a short time frame. I got about 11 minutes going on. Got a question from G Fresco. Does my current sickness have to do with Ascension? There's a lot of people. There are energies coming into the planet. There's more increased photonic radiation. There's X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays are coming in different intensities and degrees. So yes, some of your symptoms that you're feeling can be from these. Getting proper amounts of sunlight. Most importantly, make sure you're properly hydrated right now, because the energies coming from the sun are really powerful, and the sun is receiving energies from the galactic central sun. So it's really important. Proper hydration. Go out and ground. Sit on the ground. Get grounded. Important to get grounded. Stay properly hydrated. And make certain that you're playing and having fun and lifting your energy up. You want to make certain you're doing that. So some of the Ascension symptoms that people are getting: constant ringing in the ears, pulsing at the top of the head, sometimes tingling around the whole body. And you want to learn the function of meditation. Come join us here on Saturday when different beings take us on a journey of meditation. They explain the simple function of meditation. It's a very short process, about 30 to 35 minutes, and they explain what meditation is, what your breathing is. Come and join us on Saturday, because meditation is essential right now for you as a soul, learning how to direct and have authority over your mind and body. That's what meditation is designed to teach you, how to have proper authority over your mind and your body. And once you have authority over your mind and body, you'll have authority over your energy, which is the energy is what your thoughts produce. Your thoughts produce an electrical current called energy. So those are a few of the symptoms, Fresco, is again, mild headaches, fatigue, nauseousness, Remember, a lot more energy coming to the planet than there ever has. Look at the sun. The sun is like a white color now. It's not like yellow when I was a kid. It's now become white hot, which means it's increasing its energy output, right? It's receiving more, it's emanating more. And so we're receiving more. Where do you think all these life forms on the planet have come from? These great beasts that are no longer here, and these creatures, mysterious creatures we've seen. Many life forms, ones we've never even conceived of or heard of, have existed on this planet because the energy from the sun causes manifestations and changes in the consciousness here. And you can be in alignment with it, or you can be in opposition to it. That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. What time Saturday? Sylvie's asking. So it starts every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays. We do Shortcuts for Your Soul at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come join us at 10 a.m. It's a beautiful process, and it's so ridiculously simple. You don't have to sit on a pillow meditating for 20 years to learn the process. You can learn it, the fundamentals of it, in a few minutes. And if you apply it, you'd be surprised how many times we get people in messages, text messages, DMs, where people said, my life has changed because of the information that has come through in these meditations. So yeah, come join us on Saturday. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here. I'm just scrolling up. I'm trying to get, there's a lot of questions here. We're not getting to them all today. But we do have a super chat here from someone. Let's see. Aqua's asking, I had a dream where a medium came to talk to me. What does this mean? It means that your higher self is trying to communicate to your lower self, your personality, your mind, body system. Your higher self is trying to now communicate with your mind and body system. It needs to learn. You need to teach your mind and body how to be your servant and not your master. Understand the function of love is important for you at this time. Understand your function of love. The function of love, even if you believe you are your thoughts and you are your body, if you begin the process of the function of love in thoughts, in words, in actions, you will awaken to your higher self. And you'll unwittingly assume an authority over your mind and body that will create a very different life for you. I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aqua. Hi, Drizilla. Thank you for that super chat. I could really use message today, home from in hospital. Well, sending you much love and healing first and foremost. I'm asking Archangel Raphael to literally go to your side right now and allow his light, his green healing energy light, to come down upon you right now. I'm asking that be done now. Yes. Release the sadness. Drusilla, there's a sadness that you're holding deep in the root, like in the lower part of your abdomen, and the root chakra. You're holding an old sadness in there. You need to liberate that sadness out of the body. A lot of people don't know they can do that. Yes. If you feel a tingling sensation in your sacrum right now, that's the energy from Archangel Raphael going into the sacrum. Just let yourself feel that. When you feel that sensation, close your eyes and just gently breathe that energy up through the spine, okay? Just draw that energy up from the lower chakra center into the spine, right? Because we can receive energy from many different planes of consciousness. Wow, great questions, guys. I missed you too. Good to see you guys. Some Facebook users asking, every day free of fear, sickening, unhealthy products, and negative rituals are the only goal of the proactive system manager. We drive and maintain our personal vehicles, basic survival, the only goal of the mind stalled. Yes, that's true. A lot of people are caught up in survival. That is so true. Your body is not who you are. It's the instrument. Don't confuse yourself with the vehicle. Your body is an instrument that you're designed by nature to be able to direct. It's designed to follow your commands. And your mind is also likewise an instrument. You want to wake up to that. Like this Facebook user is saying, you don't want to get caught up in the content of your mind and the needs of the body. You want to be conscious and deliberate in the function of love. And that has to be learned and practiced. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that inspirational statement. Question from Lauren. Other night, I saw a 4 to 5 inch linear series of dots coming down from 45 degrees angle to Earth. Who were they? The Pleiadians are really big around the planet right now. Like, they're really big around the planet. And for you, that's what I'm getting. It's the Pleiadians trying to connect you energetically, Lauren. Again, when you see signs and symbols like that, when you see these things, don't get infatuated with them. Feel the energy, because you're seeing them because you're tuned into that frequency. You see a certain color or a certain number sequence because you're tuned into a frequency of energy. So if you're getting 111, 222, 555, 1234, you're getting certain repeating sequences or signs like lights in the sky or colors, pause and don't get caught up in the fascination of what you see. Feel the energy that's being transmitted to you. Close your eyes and remember the energy from those dots. Remember what you felt, because the information that's being communicated is more important than the objectification of that object. In other words, you want to feel the energy that's being communicated, the message in the information, not simply the messenger. Feel the energy of that, Lauren. Like really, like literally feel the energy. Yes. Yeah, can remember to like this video. If you're watching and you're live on TikTok, remember to click like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever you need to do, especially share this information out. It's so beautiful. So someone's saying, if I have any, do you know what my spiritual abilities are? Yes, I do actually. And these are universal to every human being that is in a state of awakened consciousness. By what do we mean by awakened consciousness? We mean that you are aware that you are not your thoughts. You're aware you have thoughts. You're aware you're not your body. You have a body. These are things that you have. You can change your thinking at will. The natural abilities that everyone has as a spiritual entity are 4 primary non-physical senses that we call clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. Just like you have 5 physical senses, you have 4 non-physical senses that let you apprehend the information in the realms of non-physical dimensional consciousness, whereas your eyes and ears and nose and mouth and hands let you experience the physical world. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance allow you to perceive the non-physical worlds, the realms of information and energy and thought that don't exist as physical things. Yes. And your dominant your dominant non-physical sense, just so you know this, is clairsentience. In other words, you can feel things really easy, like you got a feeling about things. Some people call it a gut feeling or like an intuition. Your sense of clairsentience, which means clear feeling, is your most dominant clair. But you can also open up the other clairs of claircognizance, clairvoyance, and clairaudience. You can train yourself to open up those other non-physical faculties. Clairaudience allows you to hear without your physical ears being the mechanism through which you hear. Like you get inspiration, you get divine downloads, things like that. But everybody has those primary functions, those spiritual functions. Everybody's got them. Great question. Thank you so much. Scrolling down here. So Sun for Stars is asking, any message from my parents? I don't know why, but I'm being shown a car and a boy. He's got very young boy. He's got like brown eyes, very young, probably 16, 17 years old. But there's a car. I don't know. I can't make out the car, but they're communicating the importance of the car and this young boy with the brown eyes. He got very, very full, thick hair on top. You know, it's very, almost looks like it's coiffed in some way. I can't describe it. They want you to communicate their love to him. They want you to communicate their love to him. Let them know that he is loved. Let them know that he is loved. Let him know that he's loved by them. Let him know that, please. Very important. I'm just scrolling down here. Hi, Kawa. Any messages would really be appreciated. Thank you. Again, I get that song. That's true. I've had this song come up 2 or 3 times in my mind when somebody's asked this question. Slow down. It's an old Simon and Garfunkel. It goes, slow down. I don't know what the name of the song is, but slow down. You move too fast. Like, slow down today. You need to slow down. They're saying not just in the body, not in your physical movements, but slow down in your mind. Slow your thinking right down, which you can do. Yes. They said once you get your mind slow enough, you'll start to feel the relief you've been seeking. Once you slow your mind down enough, you'll start to feel the relief that you have been seeking. Wow, I like that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate those super chats. Mary is saying, thank you for the healing of our cat, Toby, Raphael, and community. That's wonderful. Glad to hear that, Mary. So happy for Toby. I like that name too, Toby. Thank you, Jody. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Question from Bazia. I had a miscarriage long time ago. Is my baby with me? Yes, they've been with you for quite some time. When you're ready, they're saying when you're ready, when you're truly ready to receive, truly ready to receive them. You must not have the child for yourself. You have the child because you wish to be the caregiver, to be a doorway for this new soul to come into this world. You know, I'm being told to tell you right now, like in this physical world, you think 8 billion people is a lot. But you know how many souls? There are trillions of souls competing to come to this earth just to experience what it's like to be a creator in this time space. Trillions of souls trying to come to this earth. And every time someone gets pregnant, you're giving a soul an opportunity to come into this world to experience what so few actually get to experience. When you look at the overall number of souls throughout creation, it's quite uncountable, actually. But wonderful. Thank you for that question, Bazia. Yeah, they are still with you when you're ready. Thank you for the roses. I really appreciate it. Someone saying, hello, William. Emmanuel lost the dog. Where's mine? Thank you. Yeah. I'm seeing it. Yeah. Somebody's picked him up. I can't see who's picked him up, but they picked him up and they're holding on to them. You'll get him back in about 3 days. He'll come back in like 3 days. Yeah, he'll come back in like 3 days. Be patient. But somebody's picked him up. They like him. Someone's saying, needing guidance, Brown Queen. You know, Brown Queen, if you need additional guidance to, again, learn to use your breath. A lot of people don't understand how powerful the act of choosing to breathe is, where you sit and you go, the very act of using your breath to place your mind and body into a state of stillness will give you a sensation and an awareness of yourself that you cannot get through your mind and body. But by placing your mind and body through the use of your breath, deliberately and gently into a state of stillness, if you do that with your mind and body just for a few minutes every day, you'll start to feel a sensation of who you really are again, because the contents of your mind and the form of your body are not who you are. They are merely instruments that you utilize while you're learning the function of creation in this physical dimension. Your mind and your thoughts and your body are not who you are. So learn to use the function of your breath. Use your breath to train your mind and train your body into stillness. And in that stillness, why Jesus always says, be still and know God. He always says that, be still, get your mind still. And in that stillness, you can begin to experience God. And I really like that. And it's a very profound and simple truth, to get your mind quiet so you can hear, to get your body still so you can feel properly. I'm so privileged and honored to be able to do this. Remember to share this. Someone's saying, I need a clarification from my ancestors. Am I doing the correct things in life? They're saying yes and no. I'm getting a yes and no. They're saying yes and no. Yeah, there's something going on. They're saying, do not make decisions. Do not make decisions from the fearfulness. Do not make the decisions from the fearfulness. Make them from the excitement. And this cannot be illusionary excitement. You cannot pretend to be excited. You will know if there's excitement or not. You will feel it. It is natural. You don't have to contrive it. You don't have to make it up. Let yourself feel it. The natural excitement. If the natural excitement is not there, then we would recommend that you turn away from that. There's a natural excitement to those things that are in alignment with who you really are. There's a natural excitement to things that are in alignment with who you really are. There's things that are fearful do not tend to be in your best interests, but things that are exciting often tend to be. Oh, I like that. One more question from TikTok and one more from YouTube. Is there actually someone who's passed already missing me? I've been told as much. Hi, Steffi. I'm not getting, whoever it is, I'm not getting that. I'm getting, there's somebody that's alive that's really yearning and admiring and wanting to be with you. It wants to be really close to you. Someone very close to you that you know that you don't know what they feel. There's somebody very close to you that wants to be close to you, then they are allowing themselves to be. They're waiting for signs from you as to whether or not they can get closer to you. No, this is not the people that were on the non-physical planes. They're doing other things right now. This one is in the physical dimension with you. There's somebody in the physical dimension that really has I'll use the term crush for you, is really attracted to you energetically. You have a common purpose, but they're too afraid to approach you. Again, the whole body thing, the whole instinctual thing that they were talking about earlier, the whole thing about instinct needs to be understood. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You are an awareness. Do not let the compulsions of biology override your reason and intelligence. Do not let the compulsions of biology override your reason and intelligence, or you'll end up living like an animal, right? It's in survival, because that's what the body's all about. It's all about survival. Wow, great question. Let's see if we got one more on, Drusilla says, I felt that. Wonderful. Question from Vertical on YouTube. Is there a remedy for a popped out vein in the finger? First words that came to me were pop it back in, right? Yeah, don't be so vain is also what I'm getting. Don't be so vain. I don't know why they're saying that, but don't be so vain. And then wherever that pop vein is, put your hand over it. Put your hand over it and give it love. It needs your attention. Something comes out your body will speak to you on the language that it can. So go to it and give it attention. Be present with it. What's it saying to you? The body can communicate to you if you learn how to listen. Wow. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out today. I look forward to seeing you guys on the Friday open Q&A. And again, you guys are awesome. Thank you for your support. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, share this information. It's time to be free of your suffering. The Great Awakening is underway, and you must choose to be awake or remain asleep. And remember what they said earlier. The choice is between survival or love. Are you going to live from survival, or are you going to live from love? I want to say thank you to the Divine Collective for being present with us today. And I want to thank the other beings that came in, because I could feel many other beings with us as well. But there's just so much time we have to get to the questions that you posed today. If you have any other questions, you can put them on under any one of my YouTube videos, under any one of my TikTok videos. I will get to them eventually. I want to wish you all much love. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will see you guys on Friday. Take care now. Bye-bye.